So of course we take my coffee, nice coffee mug. And I'm interested to see if it's gonna be in English or Swedish, the text too, if it shows up somewhere, because I don't know. We have to see. I'm not sure where I do the chat part. Is it there? So I hope I can see everything soon. So morning if someone is watching. And if you have seen my shorts for today, so I have already been outside the door, and it felt actually colder than I expected, because it's -7 Celsius over here right now, and in Fahrenheit that is 19.4, but the wind makes it feels like -11 Celsius, and in Fahrenheit that is 12.2 Fahrenheit. So it's a little bit colder than I expected, at least, but at least I've been outside the door. So, but I hope that I can do a little more things later, but we never know. It's still snowing and it's gonna continue for some days. So what are you up to, if someone wants to talk? Hello Adam, how are you? I'm still very tired, but it's only 2 more days I'm off. On Wednesday I start work again, so that sucks. At least I've been outside the door, and today I don't feel 100 because my belly haven't been cooperated after my surgery. You can sometimes get some issues with it, so I had a very bad start on the morning, so that's why I haven't done so much with how I look like. You've been tired, and I see that it's still writing Swedish here. I don't like that type of things. I'd rather see what people are writing in their own language. It's because I do speak English, so I don't have to have it translated. I don't know how to take that away either. I think that's one thing if you want to have it that way, but I prefer to see which people are Swedish and which people are writing in English. So, but I hope you can go to rest soon then, Adam, so you don't have to be too tired. Here is very early, just after 8 a.m. So been to the shop already, went out with the garbage before. So I was also looking how the road is looking right now, if it's okay-ish to go out, because my car is tiny too, so it's not that fun to drive if they haven't plowed the road proper. So, and it's still snowing during some moments too. Just sometimes it's a bit calm and not calming anything, but then it starts again. So we can't even open our balcony door now because it's go out, and even if the level to the balcony floor is a little bit lower, so it still go up over the window now, so you can see the snow level. So, but like I said, we have -7 Celsius now, or 19.4 Fahrenheit, but it's colder with the wind, so it goes down to -11 Celsius or 12.2 Fahrenheit. So you have to dress a bit warmer. So I didn't expect it to. The air felt very nippy today, so it was not that pleasant to go out, but at least you woke up. So if you're tired, go out, Adam. That could help. Hello, Dinamina. I'm not sure what you mean, because they have translated and Halloween. What do you mean by Halloween? Do you mean Halloween? I don't know what you're talking about. But for me, it's Halloween every day because I'm a goth. And if you don't like my top, so I love it, I don't care. I'm an Eldergoth. I dress how I want. So it's have nothing to do with Halloween. It's my dress style all year long. So I'm not like you. Yeah, we have a lot of that too, especially when it comes to immigrants, when they do this graffiti type, when they want to show their areas for other gangs too. So at least I wished that they did, if they're gonna do graffiti and that type of stuff, do nice things. Don't do this tags or whatever they do that just look like garbage. But there are people that are destroying things too, or throwing garbage on the ground too, and we used to be a very clean. Some people still think it's a clean country, but for me as a Swede, I see everything all the time. And don't spam the chat, because I can take it away too, you know. That is very, very rude. And I don't want to hear anything about being hot lady either, so I'm gonna see if I can do something about this. So we took that away, and gonna see if I can find Adam here and see if I can do. So Adam, you wanna help if you see people behaving bad, so you can help me to take them away. So even Christian do it. Yeah, I don't think it's matter where you're from really, but here is more that type of issue when they try to show who have the territory or something, because we have a lot of gangs and it started to be very violent everywhere too. So it's not just a gang, they are doing things towards even innocent people not coming in between, because they don't give a damn care who lives in the area or not. So you have to be careful. You're welcome, madam, because I don't like when that type of people jump in. People can watch a live stream, but they don't have to be rude. And if they don't like something, so stop it. And if you tell them to stop doing it, and they still continue spamming, so... And I don't want to feel like I'm gonna sit here and I don't have my ordinary people that usually are in that I already put that label on. I know I can trust you too, Adam, because you're a good person, so I rather put that on someone else too, so... But yeah, and I have thinking a little about my channel, how I'm gonna do in the future, because I think shorts can be a bit stressful, and I don't think I do that interesting shorts either directly, so I might go down on them a bit. But I see that at least my subscriber gone up. I'm not that far away from 4K for the moment, so gonna see how it does. I have pre-recorded some videos now, so actually 2 weeks from now, less than 2 weeks from now, Adam, it's actually gonna be 10 more music recommendations, so I think you might like it. Hello, Bloody Ritual. What I have for plans for the week. I'm only off today and tomorrow, so I don't have that big plans, because I don't want to be disappointed, because the weather have already cancelled plans I had last week. So, and I'm not stupid, so I go out on the roads with a tiny car too unnecessary when I say to people that they shouldn't be on the roads if they don't have to. So if I can and I feel for it still, so I might go to the thrift shop, but it depends on how the roads look like too. So see. What kind of coffee I drink, that is a little different. We brew our own, so I like a little bit stronger, and today when I can do my coffee myself, so it's gonna be as strong as the sweet ones. When Trevor does the coffee, he make it much more weaker. He think I do too strong coffee, so what Adam is telling. Yeah. Yeah, and I don't think it depends so much on the age either. I'm gonna move the camera a little closer, so sorry if you're gonna see my ugly face much more. It's gonna be a little easy to read, because I'm not on the computer either, so... But I think that at least people could be a little more nicer, and no matter who you are, and that is, or if you come to someone's live, to behave after that. It's not like you have to be there anyway, so... So I agree with you, Adam. Yeah, I bet you do. And the funny thing is that I can at least tell you that Daniel Knut's gonna be in that one. And actually, yesterday when I went on Instagram and he posted about his new song that is released recently, so I reposted it as usual when I think something is good with him too. And he actually DM'd me back and thank you for the support, Sanniz, and everything, and even put down my name, Sanniz, in that case. And I wrote back, and when he had given some more thanks, I also said that I could mention a little fast for you that about 2 weeks from now you're gonna be in a music recommendation video. And he was really happy and said, if you want, send me the link and I'm gonna promote it for you too, because he was happy that actually he wanted to have him in my video. But I hope it's not gonna be disappointed because I'm not like by candlelight. I don't have memory in the same way, and it's hard to find all the information I should want to have. Um, that's nice of you. Oh, thank you. I'm not feeling cool, but okay, thank you. I don't really see it as a outfit today because it's more the comfy clothes. It's just an ordinary top I bought on MP Rock Shop, so anyone can buy it. So it's not direct from the alternative shop that case. Ah, that sounds very fun. The hard thing with streaming together, especially when it's this time difference, that is who's gonna be up late and who's gonna be up early and that type of things, and when it suits too. Because usually during work week, I can't do it because I'm not home or too late. Or when it comes to weekend, I need to at least have an agreement with Trevor that it's okay for me to be where I am. Because I can't sit for hours, for example, in the bedroom if he wants to go to the bedroom, or sit out here and he can't watch the TV or do whatever he wants in the background. So it's a little hard sometimes with that type of things when you don't have your own room to be in and do all that kind of stuff too. But right now he's working, so it's okay for me to be here. So what for favorite holiday I have and what I celebrate? I don't really have so much. I should say that Halloween is probably my favorite, but that is because then I can find more things for my home too, because I love that type of stuff. I'm a goth and I like that type of stuff. And we can't really get things that I like else if I don't make them myself or order them from abroad. But I should say probably Halloween, even if it's not like a Swedish holiday. And I'm not that much into the other holidays either. The biggest holiday in Sweden, I should say, is Midsummer Eve. But I'm not used to celebrate it in that big style that most people do anyway, because my family didn't do all the stuff, because I, I am from a family that is related from much other areas from here. It's not many of us in the family tree that lives so south, because the most are from the northern part or from other countries around. So we haven't had that type of tradition, at least not since I've been grown up either, because I started to work extra many holidays and everything like that when I was younger to get my own money too to buy things for. So I really didn't have that experience to celebrate things, and I'm not a keen in the food either. So when it comes to Christmas food and that type of things, I don't like that type of food. I'd rather go out and eat Thai food, Greek food, Turkish food, you name it, as long as it's not ordinary. But many people like that type of thing. So, what's your favorite holiday then, Bloody Ritual? Uh, and yeah, and are you planning to do a video, Adam, that you actually sitting down and talk yourself to in or show yourself or something? That should be really awesome, because I know that you can a lot of different things, and I'm very interesting of even of those spiritual things you are doing. And one is asking if I'm Swedish. Yes, I'm Swedish. I guess you can see that if you go to my channel at least. I'm Swedish. I live in a town not far away from Gothenburg. So yeah. So I'm very Swedish in that type of way, but not Swedish all the way out in my heritage, because I'm a mix. I'm a mix with Swedish, German, Finnish and Sami. And Sami is the native people in this part of the world that can live in both Norway, Finland, Sweden and North Russia. You recently moved to Sweden, so where are you from then? So it's a little hard to tell which people are Swedish here in the chat, because of some reason YouTube are now translating everything to Swedish, and I'm not sure I like that, because I think they might do some wrong too with the translations sometimes, because I can see that if you go and you see when I try to put a translation on your videos, even if you haven't put translation yourself on it, so lots of the words are not right at all. They can't even say the word goth. because that goes totally wrong too. So I don't understand why they need to do that. It's one thing if a person wants to have things translated, but it shouldn't be by automatic they should do that, because I think that's a little annoying. I'm from Romania. I actually know a girl in my town from Romania, but she's not with Romanian heritage. She's Hungary, but she lived in Transylvania. So were you from Romania itself or from Transylvania? Let's see what Adam was writing. Maybe. Looking forward if we want to do that type of videos, because it should be so interesting to watch. And yeah, Dan, or for others that don't know who that is by Candlelight. It's very good when it comes to doing music. So morning to Finland too. I have forgot the word for morning, but can say huvud something. Huvud. But I forgot because I didn't learn that much Finnish when I was little. I can some words nowadays. Hello, Singlu. How are you? Thank you very much, Billy. So yeah, it's just a few words I can like in Finnish too. So my grandfather was not that happy when it comes to kids. He always said like "mene nukkumaan, turpa kiinni," that type of thing. So he didn't like kids at all. But we learned of more important words like karki and that type of thing. So and then when they were shouting to us, mene kotiin, mene kotiin. Oh, you didn't sleep well. But I was surprised. It had a lot going on since Christmas in Blue. So, but I'm happy that your sister is finally back in the UK too. So you got that part of support too. Mm. Mm. Yeah, it's very interesting about Romania too. So, and one of my dream on my bucket list is actually go to Transylvania. It's not just because of Dracula's castle or whatever they call it. It's not the real castle, but they call it Dracula Castle anyway. So, but it's also because I saw this video about the ones that makes the wooden crosses in Transylvania, and it's just a special person that can do them, and they paint them and do all these artistic things, and it looks amazing. I should want to see that type of graveyard cemetery with my own eyes, because it's a real art. And Gothenburg, that is my favorite town number one. So you're in a good place. Just stay safe depending on where in Gothenburg you live, because I know that is trouble areas there too. So stay safe. And so what should I do? You should, but I don't know what I should. Maybe you mean to go to Transylvania. So if I can get a four with it one day. And I know that I'm building this big new Dracula amusement park in Romania now. So we never know. Maybe one day. That should be very fun to do at least. You don't understand what I say. So you don't have translation on your thing then when you put on the chat then. Because for me it's translate everything to Swedish, and I think that's a bit annoying too, because I'd rather see English in that type of case, because I'm afraid that some bits are going wrong in the translation too. So and sometimes the Swedish sounds a bit crazy too when I read it. So that's why I should prefer YouTube to stop doing that type of things. It's one thing if you decide yourself you want to have it translated, but there are so many good things right now that you can use too. They start coming those headphones now. If you have an app connected to it, you can actually use them as a translator and that type of things too. So it's better to have that type of solution instead than have it forced on you. So I'd rather see them take away this thing. They probably meant something well about it, but it's not for me. Göteborg, Gothenburg in English. So, or even known as Little London. So I live like 30-40 minutes from there. So but might take a little longer today to drive that if I should drive. So you're not going on that big dog competition now that is in Gothenburg, my dog. If you have cold weather, you have -25. We don't have that cold, so that was really cold. So where are you living then? And we have, and I guess, yeah, it was Celsius, you said. We have -7, but with the wind, they say it's -11, so it's warmer where you are. But around Gothenburg and this bit of Sweden, it's feel colder because it's more humid air. So. Oh, sorry to hear that, bloody Riddle. Very sorry. And it's not easy when that happens. And it looks like it's not just you that have been in that position now with your mom. So Single Silver had the same. But I think it was Christmas. Middle of Finland. Yeah. My mom did come from Oulu. Or Uleåborg, like we said in Swedish. Are you talking Swedish too, or just Finnish where you are from? Because I know that there's some people that talk Swedish in Finland too. It's not. It's not the North Pole. I hope not. Yeah, my condolence to Bloody Riddle, and the same goes to Single Silver, because both are in the same position when it comes to that type of things. It's very sad when it happens, and I know how hard it is. And even if I saw in my calendar, it is around 8 years since my dad died, but it still feels hard for me, and he was the only one that was my family in that type of way. I had to cut the band with the rest after the funeral, so they were just toxic. Very usual name, maybe. Yeah, at least as long as you learn that don't spam, because then you're gonna be timeout or even blocked in worst case. It depends on what you're doing, so just behave and be nice, because I want everyone to feel safe on my channel. I don't like when people can't be themselves. Everybody should be able to be safe and that type of things, not just being off or whatever. So. You speak Finnish, but you can some Swedish words. It's a little like I can some few Finnish words, but my mom, when I was a little, said that she thought it was better for us to learn Swedish proper, because the kids that talk both languages was very bad in both. So better to speak one proper than two very bad. So your name is Sten. Stone in English, I guess. My real name is Susanna, but I've been called Sanniz instead, because I prefer that, because it's easier for people to remember too. So, and the only time I hear my proper name when I was a kid was when you had done some prank or whatever, and you had parents shouting your full name. Then you knew of it. You are in a deep shit right now. So, what are you up to today? Or I guess some are going to bed, but others maybe live in the right time zone compared with me. So I did knew someone that was named Sten was younger, but that was an older person. Yeah, but that was because she also knew about the problem with the kids that was having both languages in a very bad way, because they didn't even talk proper Finnish in that case. So, and plus, I think they had that in plan too. That when my father, even if my father was living in Haparanda, that is just you just walk over the bridge over to Tornio, that is on the Finnish side. So he couldn't speak Finnish when he moved down, but because it was so many people that at his work that was only talking Finnish by that time, so it was very many Finnish people that even moved to my town before I was born, of different reasons, the textile industry and when they did tires and that type of thing. So So he was forced to learn Finnish too in that case. So I think they used that as actually as a secret language for us kids, so they could openly, for an example, talk about Christmas gifts, and we didn't understand what they was talking about. So I thought they also thought that was a good idea too in that case. So we didn't know what they were talking about. So, but I am happy that I had to learn at least one language proper. And when I was older, I wanted to learn Spanish or something, Italian or Spanish, but we didn't have teacher for that, so I had to learn German instead. But I don't remember so much of the German because it's so many years back in town now, so I don't remember it that good. But I do sometimes joke with one of the German guys at work, so we have a lot of different nationalities where I work, so. Have a nice day, and thank you for being here. Which town I am from? I live in Borås. I'm not sure you know where that is, but it's not far away from Gothenburg, Göteborg in Swedish. So, you love Deutschland, Deutschland. Sprechen Sie Deutsch? Cayenne. Ah, not that far away then, but it's still a bit to go, so it's not like you come there that fast. You still have to travel for a while. Are you from Uddevalla? I have been in that area a very long time. I had a relationship with a guy that was from Skafte, and then you have to pass Uddevalla on the way out, so I know where that is. So, but that was when I was much younger. It was before 2000, so I had that relationship out there too. But I lost the contact with that person. He was a nice guy, so. Why should I have been in jail? Why do you think I should be in jail? That was rude. Oh, that was very rude. And for people, if you still wonder about that case, no, I've never been to jail. And actually, before the big accident 2001, I actually trained to try to be a cop, to get into the cop education. But because of the accident, that plan didn't work out. Yeah, that's good that you did, because I can't see everything that comes, because sometimes it moves fast, or I'm still sitting a bit away from the text and it's hard to see what it says all the time. So, but my plan when I was younger was actually to be a cop. I have thought sometimes to maybe try to work in a similar type of things, but not like a cop, but like in type of prison type of guard or whatever. But you still need an education for that, so you need to be that I think that you might be able to be that person, but I'm not sure I can be that after having my surgery too, and I need to eat and drink in a certain way too. So I was like in a reserve, and I tried to find a lot of people to work, but because I didn't have the right education in the background, so they had enough of the ones that did have. So, but at least I was good enough. Hello, Gary. Are you still babysitting the cat? But at least you have a good friend to be with, and cats are cozy. So, what do you like mostly with Halloween or Christmas? I prefer Halloween in that type of case, but Halloween is mainly because that's the biggest time of the year when we can fully go out with everything. Plus, I can find cool stuff for my home because that's my home decoration. And even Trevor, that is a metalhead, do enjoy that type of decoration too, because he's not into those mainstream decorations either. Even if he can live in, if he could decide here, he could take away a lot of stuff which is gonna look like if he were into an institution or something, because he don't like to have a lot of things everywhere. But I like to have a home that looks like a home, if you know what I mean. I don't want to have a home that looks like a waiting room when you go to the hospital or something. But Gary, I should prefer to have a cat too, but Trevor is allergic, so and plus we can't secure the windows and the doors for a cat if something should happen. So Yeah, that is for all year around decorations, and that's easiest to get your things done. And you ask about my religion. I don't have an exactly religion. I would say some mix of different things, but I think with a witchy pagan Norse type of thing. I was born Christian, but here you can actually live with the church too. You are forced to be, if you have Christian persons, you're gonna be Christian by automatic. But I left the church, so I'm not Christian. So I am like a witchy, pagan, Norse person. So think like a mix of everything with the Viking stuff. So then you have me. But I don't judge people that don't have the same type of belief. But I don't force people to believe what I think either, and they shouldn't force it on me either. So. Uh, So you are Muslim then. Don't have to be a bad thing either. There is good Muslims too, but I don't like those that do harm to others or force women and children to be in a certain way and try to say that it's because it's in our religion. And if I think that's wrong, you can still be a good person in that belief too. So. Yeah, and I believe you are because you do what you do Adam, because that's how it goes. And who are you calling racist then? Must be yourself then, because it takes one to even say that one type of things. You know that the racism can go two ways. It's not just the people that don't like cold skin or that type of things. It's even people that are into one thing that use that card against others. But I have never been a racist. And I work with a lot of different nationalities where I am. So I don't even know what you're talking about. So yeah, I saw that. I don't even understand what he was saying that, because I've never been a racist. I also always lift up that goth and that type of thing should be for everyone, no matter how we look like or where we're from. The only thing I said that people should be treated, and that's what I say about Muslims too. There are good Muslims, like I calculate. We have Muslims at my work, but they don't treat people bad or force them to wear a certain outfit, or the women must be married with, that type of thing, so the guys can't be gay, and you know that. So that don't make you a racist. That just make you human. So, and if that person can't deal with that, it just shows that person's true nature in that type of case. That they don't want other people to be happy and be themselves. So I'm happy you took that away. And I really hope that we don't have to have that kind of people coming to the chat too, because that feels really like those red pill goths too. I don't like them too when they start to talk about this type of things and everything like that, and they try to say that people can treat others wrongly and still call themselves goths because that's wrong. And goth always fight for people to be themselves, so it's a bit political too. I just hate that this is translated to Swedish, because I think I lose some of the things here. But I should say that a religion is not always the base for how people act. I should say that it's something that is learned, and your more extreme a religion is, your worse it often will be. It's the same when it comes to Christians and other beliefs too. You just see all the very conservative in US that call themselves Christians, but in one blink they can try to get away with people. They can have an Amazon deliver and they hear someone speaks Spanish and they're suddenly gonna call ICE for it, and they should be happy that they got the fucking package delivered, because they're not going out and pick up the things. They expect others to come with that, but because they speak Spanish, they start to call ICE and that type of things and call them very ugly words too. So it's even Christians, and just go back in the history, look at churches and that, how they treat the kids, and that all the rapes and that type of things, Epstein files and that type of things. This is nothing compared with what happens even inside the religions. So even Christians are bad people if you go to the more extreme ones, or the ones that don't want to show the true nature. So you have ugly people no matter where you are, so it doesn't matter. And yeah, you have the witch trials too. That was very much in Christianity too, and everything like that. So no, they are everywhere. I just picked up one of the examples, for example, just because they mention one thing, but it's still everywhere. And then you have some parts of the beliefs too, when they don't even want people to be helped and they end up in hospital. And I think that's wrong too. Why should they decide if someone should be treated for something? If you need to have blood for a surgery, why shouldn't you be able to get it? They'd rather see you die in that case, and I think that's wrong. That should never happen. We should be able to take our own choices, and it shouldn't be a religion to decide how we're gonna live our life. You can still be a good believer and everything like that. Just treat people good and don't force people to something they don't believe in. I should rather see that people educate themselves in different beliefs, and after a certain age you take your own decision what you want to believe in. Or if you don't want to believe in anything at all, that's okay too. It's up to you. If you want to not believe in any religion, so that's okay too. But you should be more grown up when you decide what you want to belong to. You shouldn't be forced. And you shouldn't be forced to say that how you're gonna look like after a while, and especially if you're a woman or something, or if you have another type of sexuality, you shouldn't be threatened to be killed, or that they say that you are the family's black sheep in that type of way, so they even try to kill you or hurt you. So that's what I'm saying. That's wrong. So no matter what you believe in, I had people when I was reading my engineer education. I had actually girls from other countries that were Muslims that was not allowed to come on the study evenings we had together just because it was boys there. And during those years when I was reading my engineering education, it was very rare we were girls that was reading that. It was not that popular thing to be. So they couldn't come to the class things during the evenings just because the parents said, no, you can't go with guys there. Of course, it's guys there. The most of the class is guys. We were not that many girls. And I feel so sorry for them that they actually missed out a lot of things just because of their parents had this old-fashioned view of everything and even took it here in a country that we don't live like that. So I think if I should move to a country that has some type of living things, it's me that need to adapt to that country. It's not me that gonna change that country to fit my personality aspect of view of life and that type of things. So it should be the same even when people move over here, that they should start to live a little more after our culture in that type of way. You can still keep your belief, but make it more adjust to where you have moved in that type of case, if you know where I'm going. But this is very deeply, and that is not exactly what I want to talk about. Yeah, and sometimes I'm not even sure that it can be always a suicide either, because sometimes it might be the family that made it look a certain way. But I do know that they try to kill people off, and we have cases here. One of the most famous was the murder of a girl called Fatima, and she was killed because she was in love with a Swedish guy and they wanted to marry each other, but her parents and her siblings didn't like that thought, so they rather killed her in that type of case. And we have fight a lot about that. It's still fighting, and there's still people that think. And the most scariest thing when you look into that thing, that they try to take them abroad too when they are very young too, so they get married to some much older person, maybe a relative or something in that country they come from, and try to force them that way into a marriage. And you see the same things are now starting happen in US, but that is with Christian MAGA people. And they even try to lower the age for something to get it more acceptable for the age too. So it's very scary to see the evolution of things going in the wrong direction. Because you're not a grown-up person that should have to be married with someone that is so much more older than you, and you shouldn't have to be forced into marriage either, because a marriage is for you, it's not for a parent or something like that. So I think it's so sick when you even see a country like US try to go in that direction, and I think they try to adjust it so they can actually take the one they don't want, they can throw them in jail or whatever, and then also can be that, oh, it's okay for us to hit on this person. It's young enough to fit our predator type of style, and now we make it okay because we lower the age for when it's okay. So I think that's totally wrong in that type of thing. It shouldn't be like that, but I guess as this world is turning very ugly with all those crazy leaders, so I'm not sure how long we are away from a real world war again. So oh, that was terrible to hear. Did it go well with that person? Did she manage to get away? Good morning, Wesley. Um, hello, next non. And Happy New Year, Gothic New Year, Wesley, and to all others too. I hope everyone had a good start. Ah, that's good to hear that she was at least safe. Yeah. And I feel so sorry. It was just enough to see the girls that was in my education, how bad they were treated that type of way. They had all the chances to be whatever they wanted and be very successful, but at the same time, their parents didn't want to accept that they don't live in those countries anymore. So. Mm. No, I don't talk Portuguese. I think it's YouTube. If your chat is in Portuguese, so it's probably YouTube because my chat is completely in Swedish right now. And I guess it's because I go directly through YouTube right now. Sometimes I do by computer and then I go through Restream and then it's in English. And I should prefer to have it that type of way. So Detroit 25 years ago. So you're probably in similar age like me then, I guess. I'm a Generation X, born 1968. So when this happened, I was around 18, 20 years old. So it's a little longer back in time, but I still see news that those things still happen. So that's very sad. Or when some relatives take young girls away from one of the parents and try to take them abroad. Sometimes they even succeed to marry them with older blokes and that type of things, and to keep them inside the right belief, like they call it. But I think that's bad. I think that if that type of things happen, you still shouldn't say you shouldn't interrupt it. I should go in between completely if I knew what's going on, because I don't think it's right to force someone to do something they don't want to. I bet that girl didn't want to do that type of things that they wanted her to do. So uh, you got the same type of dreadlocks. I have synthetic dreads in the middle of 2000 roundish there. I had for many years synthetic dreads in my hair too, in different colors, mainly black, but I used to have different colors then too. Yeah, I had that blood ritual, and I'm happy for it, and happy that I actually were listening to that intuition too, because that saved me from some things too. So, and even if it was hard for me to get away from those moments, but at least that made me safe because it showed up that it was bad people. So, and yeah, I agree with you that a marriage shouldn't be forced. If you want to marry someone, no matter gender or that type of things, it should be up to you because it's your life and everything. You're gonna live through it too. And I don't believe in this. We are living in a modern time now. We shouldn't have to go back to those times when it was arranged by parents or relatives, or even used as a tool to keep countries and other things in a certain way. So, like they used with the kings and the girls that was married to different kings or higher persons too. So there should be like that type of commitment between different countries too. We should have passed those days for a long time ago. We shouldn't be like that anymore. And I think the most people should be much more happy if they could marry the person they like. Not Douglas Murray. I don't know that. I don't think so. So, but if you remember, you can put that down in some comment or something, so I can look into what type of author he is. So, and I'm not a granny. Sorry, I might be old, but I don't have any kids either. So I don't understand why people have to say that someone is a cool mama or cool granny when you reach a certain age, because you might not have kids. For me, it was a personal choice to not have kids, but it can be people that have fighted to get kids for years and then been too old. So think of it that way, that you can hurt someone by telling that you think it's a compliment, but it can be the opposite in that type of case too. So stop calling people that way. Oh, you're gonna watch Corn. I know Trevor have seen them, so but me personally, I like a few songs with Corn, but it's not my type of music else. So, but people can like whatever they want as long as they like it, so it's okay. So, and it doesn't bother me anyway. So, but I do know that Trevor would love to see them again, but I'm not sure they're coming here. But another good artist that actually was from Brazil but now live in Berlin is Donald Knutz. Have you heard about him, Wesley? Else you can watch him. Let's see. Yeah, it sounds like he's can write the good things too. Yeah, and that was good that he did it, yeah, because I don't really understand that type of things when and say that type of things either. Because for me, a granny is someone that have kids that have kids. If you know what I mean, when you have all the type of stuff, I don't go and call people that is older than me for a granny just because they look older. Because for me that is unrespectful. I'm old-fashioned maybe in that type of way, but my father said that I needed to show respect for older people, but older people don't naturally mean that you're gonna tell them that they are a granny or something, because that is not always true. Because if we are many that don't have any kids, and that does mean we can't be a granny. And you could see that, oh, you're a cool Eldergoth or whatever, but you don't have to use that type of words. Show a little more respect when it comes to age. It's like I should look down on people that is much younger, and I don't. Especially when it comes to my subculture, I just think it's great that there's still people that are interested in the goth subculture too, that love the same type of music that I love. And that's why I love to even find new bands too, and not just be stuck in the 80s music like some people said it. Oh, but I prefer to only listen to the old ones. And sometimes they even say that I don't even know new bands and that type of things. And I wonder, what rock are you living under? Because if you are into the subculture, you say go out in dance places and everything, you must have heard something that is newer than the 80s. I refuse to believe that every goth club is just playing old music, because that's wrong. So, but there's a lot of good music coming, and this band that is not that old either that I have discovered. And the music recommendation video that comes up not next weekend but the weekend after, there's gonna be 10 different ones, and many of them are recently not that old. Some have only things from 2025 too, so they are really new in that type of thing. And of course there are some that is older too, or they have been in the music business for a very long time, but they have now their own type of things. And little like that is one of the guys that is in my recommendation too, actually been very well known during the earlier age in the 80s too. But I'm not gonna mention so much more because I want people to watch that thing too. Hello, Alt Music Project. Uh, see what people are writing now. I can understand that it is not shown by non-respect in other culture, but you have to remember that when we are on internet, not everyone have the same culture and background. So I shouldn't say that type of things to a person I don't know, because like I said, it can be like a open wound for some people. I know that I was working together when I was in my 20s. I was working with a girl that had fighting very long to get a kid, and she never got. She always lost them. If she went pregnant, she lost them very early in miscarriages. And they showed that even if they tried to do it the other way, so she couldn't, and all fault turned out to be to her. And then she even got this type of cancer, so she had to take everything away, and that meant that she never gonna be able to have a kid. And I met her some years ago when I was out walking in the nature. Actually, I met her and her new guy, and asked how life was, and that I saw that she had a new partner. And she actually said that the old partner actually broke up with her because they couldn't get a kid, and he refused to adopt another kid. He wanted to have a kid of his own. He refused to have something else, and that hurted her a lot. So just think of that. Just because you have a culture that think it's okay, it don't necessarily mean that it's okay for the next, and it can be an open wound for next person too, because it might still be something they go through. Because you have to remember when we were younger, even when I was around teenager, I thought someone that was 20, 25 was a very old person, almost dying in my eyes. So you see, it can be very bad too. So yeah, and a miscarriage, especially if you have more than one too. So that's very hard. It takes very mental on you, and especially when you never succeed to get through a certain part. So that feels like, oh, I'm maybe not worth as much as for in that case a woman, because I can't even deliver a kid like others think. And because you are a woman, you are expected to have kids too. Still are. Um, I remember when they still was asking me when I should have a kid. But after a certain age, they started to realize, oh, she started to be told, oh, maybe you can't have a kid, was the thing then. And now when am too old for it, so they're stopped now because they know that I can't have anything. It's only if you don't know my age, I can still get that type of questions. But I think be very careful when it comes to that type of things, because that can rip up a lot of bad feelings inside your body when you try to get them away. Because I know a lot of people still have that sadness even when they have reached my age, that they never got that, and they maybe had a partner in that type of case, like my working friend that refused to even get an adopted kid. That should be better than nothing in that case, because they could still give all the love and everything for that kid and treat it like their own. But because this person just wanted to have a kid of their own blood. So, but like I said, as a kid, you don't choose the family you're born into, and it's a little like I feel about the rest of my family after my dad's death, that I cut the band from them because they were toxic and never treated me good. And I thought they had shown their true faces for so long, and they didn't accept me being goth either. So call me all names, and no matter what I did, nothing was good, even for my mom. I could end up on with just one wrong on a big test in school, and still gonna have, but he could have that right too. So it was not, oh, what good it was. Never that type of things. It was always to push me down on something that, oh, you could have done a little bit better or something like that. So plus how they treated me too in that type of case. So I rather cut my band in that type of thing and choose my own family. And in this case, I have my YouTube Go family. I have travel and that type of things too. So sometimes it feels a bit lonely when you don't have your dad, but life goes on, and the older you get, the more you're gonna realize that the people that you have around gonna start disappear too. So just go and shake all the heads about people that died. So you're gonna see when you start to come even to a certain age, you're gonna see more and more people closer to your age are dying of different reasons too. Of course, you can die much earlier, but if you shake the one that dies after a certain age, you start to see started to come to that age when more and more people dies. So even if they say that people are getting older nowadays, so it still start during a certain age. When you reach a certain age, you're gonna realize that more and more people have disappeared, and I have seen a lot of my friends have died during the years. Even boyfriends to me have died. So sorry to hear that, Bloody Ritual, but thank you for being here and always showing all the support and everything. And God hugs for you. And this was not just a special type of stream. It was just like come and chat with me and everything like that. We take a coffee. It's Monday. I'm soon back to work. I'm not sure when I'm gonna do live streams after that, because it's harder to do it whilst I'm working, because I'm a full-time worker and everything. And it's more possible to see me in a Goth gathering on Star Raven Gothic Eternities channel in that type of case. And I think the closest one there is next Friday the 13th. I don't know the theme for that gathering, but I guess it's gonna be some kind of Friday the 13th for horror related, I guess. But I'm very happy that you always support that much Blood Ritual and believe in my channel and that type of things. So thank you very much for being a good subscriber and Darkling. So, but yeah, there's a lot of different things, and yeah, even those chats, even if it's not going in that type of direction, of also thinking about what I said about videos and try to start this live stream. We were talking about things before it went so serious with everything, was that I'm not sure how often I'm gonna upload, because I can't do hauls all the time either. I'm not that type of person that want to just buy things for showing off once, because the things that I buy is for using or for use for my creativity too, if that's that type of things. I'm not buying clothes and that type of things just for having a haul. I'm not that type of YouTuber. I hope that I'm still gonna get the new Gothic Beauty magazine box. I'm waiting for the Gothic Beauty calendar, that because they have a 10 years anniversary, so they did this special project, and they succeeded to reach their goal when it comes to how many supporters for the calendar thing they're gonna have to start printing. But it's gonna be late posted. So they said they're gonna post it this month. I haven't heard anything yet, if it's on its way, and if it comes from US around Las Vegas, they usually Gothic Beauty magazine box are sent from. So then it can take a while before I even have it. But I thought that was a good thing to compare with what I had before, because people know that I support the Sophie Lancaster Foundation in UK, and there used to be a project that was called the Goths for Sophie, and that was Renee that lived in Australia that have this calendar project. She did it for 5 years before she went a bit disappointed to some of the ambassadors that we were called. The people that was in the calendar was called ambassadors, and the meaning was that we should give this ring of water to spread the calendar and get people to buy it. And that was the only thing she asked people to do, because the calendar was paid off what we got in, and every part that went over the cost of the calendar went directly to the Sophie Lancaster Foundation after. So it was a big issue for her to see that some of them wanted just to be like show up in the calendar, but then they didn't want to do this work for it, because it should be able to be a very successful thing. And it went for 5 years, and the fourth year I was actually in the calendar too in August. And if you're interested, I can show the calendars now if I can find them. But I need to go to my desk to pick them up, or I take it in another live stream too, maybe, and show them instead. Then, but I thought it was a shame that people disappointed her. She was never disappointed me because I did a lot already from year one, even if I was not a member. So I was always supporting, try to spread about it to get more people to buy from it. So it really was a big thing for me, and I learned to know a lot of people from that too, even if some of them are dead too, like Trevor Parker. There was one year, also known as the Eldergoth here on YouTube. He actually died before he could see me in the calendar, and I think he was one of the one that actually told Renee that take her and ask her about joining the calendar project too. So yeah, and I respect them very much too. And I think you said that her mom also died, but she was in very bad state in the end too, and even ended up in a wheelchair after her health issues and that type of things. But I think she still saw the good thing, even if it took her very hard, the reason why it happened, and to see that the guys that did it was out just after a few years. But you also know that her project led to something that is so much bigger and hopefully can help others, even if they still have to work a lot against it because of the new times we're living in when the world goes much more colder and aggressive, and with this hate everywhere that I don't even understand why we need to hate people that much, no matter what reason, if it's the skin color, you are different in some type of way, you are have a certain gender or you're trans or whatever. I don't understand this type of hate we live in because we should show respect to each others and do good stuff, not be bad people. But I still think she do a lot of good jobs, at least in UK too, and have it more like in the schools too. They go around on the big festivals and everything. So I think that's a good thing. And I know that like Mira that have super cool festival and here in Sweden have her cooperation together with the Sophie Lancaster Foundation too. So she works very close to them in that type of things and had her things going on with how to support that type of things too. Yeah, but I think this world had been gone so much worse latest years. It seems like something started after COVID. I think in a lot of countries, even a COVID situation didn't make it easier. And then we have what's going on with the invaded Ukraine. They did this thing with the Gaza, Israel type of things, and then you have all the other wars, and then you have Putin that refused to give up. But then we have the other idiots. You recently had this type of war going on in some part of Thailand and those borders there. You even have this Venezuela now with Trump. You have what Trump is doing that is totally wrong too. So I don't really get it, and people seem to be so hateful. I even see from UK and that type of things that you see this hate is flooding, and even in my country, there start to be that type of winds coming too, and they try to force people out from the country too, even if they had the right to stay. So they try to take off the little what Trump does. But we are many people who try to protest to that because we think that if you should take someone out from the country, it should be the one that is criminals and do bad things and don't want to do anything good. Then I can understand that send them back to their home countries, and they probably can't do the same thing even over there. But here they think they can get away with it. But instead, they try to send away people that work and do all the taxes. They have learned the language and they try to live in that type of way. So I think it's so bad that this world is turning to hate, and you can't even be yourself. And people that even can't understand why a person can be trans and that type of things. And I always said it's not up to you what happens in the bedroom or what they have for sexuality, because you don't really have to be with them in that type of moment. It's still a person behind it. And if the person is a good person, why should you bother that type of way what they have for sexuality or what they feel like, what type of gender they have or non-gender? You should love them as they are. Why should we all be just the same? I think this hate should go away. Yeah, that sounds very crazy, Adam. Very crazy. I don't really get that type of things that are going on, and you see even inside the goth subculture now that you see this red pill movement, and even some of the gatekeepers, if you can call them, that always attack people for different reasons. They always find a reason to find something bad instead for trying to understand that everybody's situation is not just the same, every country is not just the same, and very easy to judge. And I usually think that it's also very spoiled kids that is behind it many times, so they don't live in the same type of thing. And then you have some type of YouTubers too that said that they hated golf when they were younger. They were not a part of the subculture, but suddenly they say they are, but they are very red pill, and I probably guess that Adam know who I'm talking about. So that makes me terrified because those person can openly say that they are proud to be fascists, they're proud to be racist, and all that type of stuff. And they do jokes about especially women and that type of things too. And I think that's scary how it is because so many things that goes wrong now in the world, and it can be very dangerous to go outside. Even in my country now, dangerous. You need to be aware about the surrounding. You can't go with your headphones on. If I go out, I always use only one, so I can always listen to what's going on. Because even if I can hear it, it can be too late. If you know what I mean, because you don't know what is going on. And we have seen during this 2 weeks now in Sweden things happening, and it's very bad. But they try to blame a certain type of community for that's behind it, but that's not true. They just try to lift up something to fill the hate, to have something to blame. Why is that case when it's not really that real case that is? Because some of the things shouldn't happen anyway, no matter what. So yeah, you don't even have to be homosexual to be accepted. You can be transsexual or whatever. For me, it doesn't matter. You are still a person. If you have a good heart and a good soul, you're still a person for me, and I respect you for being you. I don't want everyone to be exactly the same. That should be so boring. And it's the same when it comes to different subcultures. We can still hang around, and when people say they're afraid to listen to something else, because I don't think they're gonna count me as a goth if I start listening to something else. So that should be boring if we just listen to goth music. I believe that we have Adam in the chat that is very much into digging in the music terms in different type of subcultures too. So he also agree about this thing that you don't have to listen to just one thing. And yeah, if you had a forced choice that you need to choose something, of course, I always gonna go back to goth because that's what I am, but I can listen to a lot of other things. Of course, it's music I don't like at all, but that is my personal opinion. I know that there's a lot of other people that love it, so they can listen to it as long as they don't have to force me to listen to it. So it's better that we are different than just the same, because the word is so boring anyway if people should be in just one shape and form. And it's the same when people don't look exactly the same, or if you have a certain figure or something, overweight, underweight, you name it, people should be able to be themselves and don't have people to bully them for being different in some type of case, just because it's not what you think is beautiful or what you don't like or whatever reason they have. I think it's too much hate anyway in this world. We don't need it, and we don't need to step more and more closer, because I'm afraid with all the signals we have right now that we're getting closer and closer to a new world war. It's just a competition. They just try to blame something, but when you look at the big picture, it makes no sense. And you know that they are not doing that to try to save something. They are actually after it, and they don't give a fucking damn on the real people under them either, because they can sacrifice them anytime as long as they get what they're after. So I think it's better to start being a little better. I'm not sure what you mean, but what it is with those emo things, because I'm not into emo, so it's not my music style. So I'm a goth. It's not the same. Yeah, and industrial music can be really good too. And I think a lot of goths actually have grown up, at least with my background too. So it was a mix of goth and industrial on the clubs too. So I think that it's a little stupid to think that everything is just the same. And even you have music that cross the borders between too. So you should be a little more open-minded in that type of things too. And just listen and think if you like to dance and anything, so industrial is perfect to dance to. So I don't really see why we shouldn't. And I had many friends that was into industrial music too, because it was good music to dance to. I know when they went to gym and everything, and they said it was a good music to train to too. So it's always a win on be more open-minded in that type of case too. So I don't see anything wrong with it, being goth and like industrial music too. It's little like 80s music and other things too. So I actually haven't seen any directly emo um, growing up, at least where I am. But I live in a very mainstream town, and when it comes to the alternative scene, is is almost like it's dead. You can see a punk head or something, and if you see something that is not mainstream, you see metalheads, but that's it. So you don't really see an alternative scene over here. So I don't know how it is with the emo type of things, but it can be because of the time we're living in too. So if you think about what people often think of when it comes to emo, so I can understand if that's going more up too, because how life looks like. So you don't have to understand everything at once, but you can always look into it, so maybe you get a bit more understanding, because I had friends back in the days that was more emo too. So plus we have those that we called syntare, that liked more Depeche, Depeche Mode, Kraftwerk, Front 242 and other type of electronic bands, and some of them are very more extreme in that type of way too. So they had also their little own style, and we call them extreme syntare. And they had almost this dress code, so it was a little more like very black but military like too. So you know, you can always learn more about it and that type of things, because we are we can have very easy to judge things we don't understand, but when we start looking into it, but it don't have to be that you have to understand everything, but yeah, I did like to see the different type of things that we could still hang together and everything. And I don't know how many times back in the days that people were shouting emo after us goths too, because they thought we were emos. And we often had our own laugh and jokes about it too, that you can't cry now because we're gonna crack up the makeup, and you can't laugh either because you're gonna crack up the makeup, whatever. So I think it's just a little stupidity. If you don't want to look into something, yeah, you don't have to understand everything, but I think there's always something to talk, speak to what someone's heart and soul when it comes to music. And when you find the music that is right for you, you know that, and else you don't gonna like it anyway. So and I know it's still a lot of people that makes this thing, and it was already back in the days, and it still are. So I don't really get why they are so confused about this emo and goth, that they can't see the difference, because I think it's very obviously, because it's not even the same when it comes to the music, and it's not the same when it comes to have the look. Yeah, you can look alternative, but it's alternative in another type of way, if you know what I mean, what you're looking for. So you're gonna know for sure. And of course, you have people that like maybe both. Maybe they have a mix in their style with both, and that can make people confused too. But like I said, you can like more than one thing, so maybe you take that into your own style too, because it's not just about the music you listen to, it's an self-expression too. When you look a certain way too, you want to express yourself in that type of way. So see, uh, why should I want to sit on a bomb for over 30 seconds? Um, for one thing, I don't use drugs, I don't smoke, I don't take any strong painkillers either, because I can't. I had done a surgery. I should end up in hospital. And I definitely don't do drugs or alcohol and nothing like that. So even say that I should look like someone like that, no, that not happen. Mm. Yeah, I guess that when you're growing up, especially when you still haven't found your own type of style, so it can be confusing for others to know what you are. So I guess that's what we always gonna have. And I think people get confused about me and my age too, because I don't look like the most people in my age either. So, but I prefer to see people that have their own style, and I love when I go out on the internet and see those much older people that actually go wild crazy with their own expression, because they have now decided that they want to live their own life. They don't want to live after what someone else tell them how they should be, or look like, or have interest of. I think people should express themselves, dress as they want, and listen to what they want, and everything. Just be happy for being there, because life is too short and it's too ugly anyway with life anyway. You have so much pressure for everything else you need to do when you're, especially when you're a grown up, that you need to be successful in different type of ways, and it can be hard sometimes to say that I didn't live up to the standard that people want people to be in, and I feel afraid to talk about it and that type of things. So I think it's better that people can be themselves, express themselves they want. And when you grow up, you maybe mix a different one. I know that when I was goth in the 2000 period, I did mix in a lot of different styles. We had like Gothic Lolita was very popular. We have even cybergoth and all that type of things were very popular during those days. And I did mix in them in my outfits too. And it was not always complete just one style. I was taking on the things I thought were good for me, and mixed, matched everything like that. So I could have a bit of like cybergoth dressed with something that maybe was more gothic Lolita, and then I put maybe even some Victorian stuff to it. So it was my way to express myself, and I think that's the way it should go. And little like even when I'm a comfy dress, like some people didn't like how I look like today. They said it's Halloween, but that's not Halloween for me. That is my normal comfy style. I could be all black, I can be that, but it's not saying that I can't put on other colors on either. It's just what I feel for during the day. So I dress how I want. If I want to feel comfy for the day, I do that. Of course, I wanted to add some more makeup today, but I didn't feel that well this morning, because my surgery sometimes can make some things with the body not work as it should. So I was in a very bad state early this morning, but after that went over, so now I feel much better again. So I decided that I'm not gonna go over top, and the weather is not exactly the best. And if I decide to go out again, so I don't have to look like a um, black metal artist after a while, just because I took on too much makeup in this weather. So and like that, even if I don't mind people looking like a black metal person either, if they're into black metal, that is totally okay for me, because I listen to some black metal too sometimes. Yeah, and I do like I follow some people that are into the cybergoth aesthetic too, or sometimes with a mix into the industrial. And you have like dances that is on YouTube, like Shivana from Germany, that often have used to dance in the background on big festivals on some of the artists too. And there has, I have a little bad to remember the name, but I do know that I follow one girl that do a lot of do it yourself to make it go in her type of cybergoth style too. And it's very interesting to see her progress with clothes to fit to her style. So she can go out and buy something and say, no, this looks maybe cool for some to put on as it is, but it's not me anyways. I need to change it. Maybe she shortened something, or maybe she add something. And that reminds me back in the days when I did a lot of do it yourself, when you added a lot of zippers, safety pins. You even used a lot of straps and that type of things, because we had during one time it was very popular to have all those pants, and other even in the tops had a lot of straps on them. So I used to sew that type of things on my things too. Yeah, and I know that Shivana haven't been so active lately, but she have posted a little, and she have a growing family too. It's little like it's Black Friday. They have family life coming in between, so I can understand that you can't maybe be all around, and sometimes you want to have a little more focus on the real life instead for the YouTube life. So, but she's a really sweet person and fantastic dancer too. So uh, I think she have 3 kids now, if I don't remember right. I don't know if that was Shivana you talk about now, but Black Friday have 3 at least, and I think Shivana had 1 recently too. So I think she already had 2 from start. Because I know that 1 year she went out and couldn't be as long. She couldn't dance in the background like she used to in that festival or what it was she was to, and she couldn't stay as long because she was very pregnant during that type of things too. Are they too young to understand how scary? I think some of them understand, but I think it's depending on. We have even people in our age that don't understand us anyway, so and they can't understand this goth thing either. And I think still it's a growing out phase for teenagers, but I never did it. And when my friends that I had a lot of during 2000 and up to around 2010 suddenly disappeared from the scene because they suddenly went to something else. Many went over to the more vintage type of style with 50s and 60s, or to like rockabilly, but I am not a rockabilly or 50 and 60s. I can think it's cool on other people, but that's not me. I don't want my home to look like I live in the 50s and that type of things. And I don't want to look in that type of way or listen to just that type of music, even if I grew up with a lot of that type of music because of my dad in that type of case. Mm. Yeah, and I know that some used to call themselves a goths for a long time, even here in Sweden, but it shows up that they were into agrotech, and then they decided suddenly that, oh, maybe I'm not a goth then, because I don't like goth music, because I couldn't understand why they never liked the band I liked when I tried to talk with them. I thought it was strange. You say you're a goth, but every band that suggests for you, you come back with a big grimace and said you can't listen to that shit. I said, but you call yourself a goth. And then it shows up that they were actually into agrotech instead. So yeah, rockabilly can be cool, but it's not for me. I should be able to dress up at least if I go out once for it. I have a friend here on YouTube that is a rockabilly pinup, Rebel, she's called, and she's a big pinup girl, and she have won a lot of contests too, and she's really sweet. And I think it's sad that she don't do that much videos anymore, because I love to see her transformations to what she loved, because she was really good at doing it. She do a lot of photography when it comes to that type of picture still, but it's little like when people start to judge you for a certain type if you're not fit in a certain way. So they are very fast to be very nasty in the comments for you and that type of things. And I thought she looked fabulous. And she did all her clothing mainly herself too, and even by hand. So she stitched everything so it should look authentic too. Mm. Good morning, Jenny. -4 where you are. We had -7 here, but they said it felt like -11, so you have a little better. And you're gonna feed the birds and that. That sounds great because I guess they need some food right now because it's a bit snowy. Mm. Yeah, and I do love Betty Page too, but when you look into her, so you realize that she was not a happy person either. She was forced into a life situation too in a certain type of way, and it's a little tragedy, little like Marilyn Monroe and those divas too. That when you look in the background and you see that they were not really happy people, what others did to them and everything like that. So you can see like a face or a surface on something, but you don't know what happens in the background. And it's first when they are dead and you get a story about them, you realize that their lives was not just the best. It was much bad things in the background. I'm not sure what that was all about because I think the translation here is sucks. Um, because that makes no sense for me to read. Um, so sorry if I can't reply on that thing about Muslims inside the Goth subculture and Roxham thing because I don't understand the translation from YouTube here. So I think it's sad that when they do this translation because I think I lose a lot of what people really say. Hello, Craig. How are you? Morning. It's a little different to see everything comes back in Swedish. Sometimes it's okay, Swedish. I understand that it was probably what they were writing down, but sometimes it is in very strange senses and words. And I'm looking at is that really a word? I am better right now. It's my second last day off. On Wednesday is back to normal, sadly. So I'm gonna start work full time again after my break. But it's been nice to being off that long. But I was not as good this morning. I had this issue that you can have after my surgery. So, but after that went over, so I'm much better right now. But I'm a little sad that it's going back to reality again with the work and the stress around that and that type of things, and that I never know how I'm gonna work from day to day because I am one of the ones that say that if I can get the early shift, I'd rather take that. But I never know which shift in that case I'm gonna have before a certain time the day before. So I'm gonna have to contact one of my working friends to see which time I got on Wednesday. So yeah, it could be one of the reasons why some of the music comes from, because if you look into that, so many things started off different political things, and even if many people try to say that goth shouldn't be political, so it's political. But yeah, we have bands that never do anything that is political too. But when you look into other bands, they can have very political texts if you go behind the meaning of everything. So man, but I think a lot of music is coming from some type of protest anyway. So, and you ask if I like typo negative. I don't mind typo negative at all, and my partner is very much into typo negative for the latest months now too. So it's not like I can actually avoid it. So I can even show one of the reasons. One side of the blanket I have is more like this Viking type of style. I think it's a wolf on it, maybe. I don't remember. It's very big. But if I turn this one, I'm gonna see if I can get it right so I can show. There we can see, I think. It's so big, this one, but you maybe can see here. Is that answer enough? So I don't mind it. They have some good songs too, but like some of the things that is that they talk some bad things about Pete Steele, about what he was as a person. But I think it's easy to talk bad about people that are dead too. So and for me, it's more about the music. So yeah, but it's little like that we have different tastes in music, so you don't have to like it all the way too. And when I grew up, that it's controversial King Wasp and those bands too. I was very much into Wasp and Mötley Crüe when I was younger, so now it's not special order. It's two different blankets that he actually sewed together because he wanted to have it thicker. So, but they are not special order. You can find them on internet. Just a different cost depending on the sizing on them, and it's very big ones too. So I had a little problem to fold it out because it's just tucked in a big lump over here. So, and you even have this. I don't know if you can show it that way. Can see it over there. That place used to hang a Slipknot poster before, but he stopped liking Slipknot after all the controversial around Corey Taylor. He was more into Joey and those in the band, so and the most of the other band members were not treated as good from Corey Taylor either. It's a little like when you start to hear about other bands too, you hear a little of this with the Cradle Phil, for an example. They have a lot of things going on that too, and the latest I think was Arch Enemy. Something's going on that too. So you see, it's happen things all the time in the music business. So yeah, he's a fan, but I don't mind because I can listen to that type of music. And when it comes to metal music, and that for me is like a mood type of thing. So even if as a goth, if I can't, are angry or something, so some of the metal music is really good to listen to instead of go out and maybe kick on some person or like that. So listen to that type of music and you can get all the anger out from your system too. So it's like band as Butcher Baby is perfect if you're really angry at something, irritated, frustrated, and that type of things. Put on Butcher Baby's Smells Like a Massacre or whatever that song is called that I often listen to in that type of case, that I love to listen to. But I do like some when I grew up as when I was around 15 to 20 years old, so it was a lot of my friend were metalheads too, so I did enjoy listen to Wasp and to Mötley Crüe, for an example, during those years too. So you can say I'm a big fan of those bands too, even if I am a goth. Yeah, I do like Duct Tape too. They are really good too, and I think that some of the bands that comes up in my next video with music will be interesting for you, Adam, but I'm a little afraid that you maybe know them already. That's the worst thing, because I know you listen to a lot of different things, but maybe you can discover something that you like. And yeah, so many bands have drama and everything, but I think it's even drama that we don't know about. And then we of course have the drama when one member in the band have done something really wrong and been taken for it and got jail, whatever, but people are very easy to even judge the rest of the band that didn't have anything to do what was going on during the time. I don't know if they knew what's going on, but at least, you know, they still judge the rest of the band even if there was just one person behind it. Yeah, it's many of them that have a very good dance moves and that type of things, and dresses in a certain type of way too. I love to watch videos with that type of things. And one band I actually enjoy a lot lately is the band Last Grasp from Florida. I think they are really good too, and I know they're gonna release a song very soon. I don't know if it's today or if it was tomorrow, maybe. I think they posted something, and I think they have done some shorts on here on YouTube too, when they talk about next release. And I did enjoy their videos and the music too. It takes back a little that old type of style too that I love. Uh, it's not the death rock, but I should say that the move into the goth rock post punk type of style, a little more back to the old, but still with a fresh sound like Twin Tribes and that. So I haven't heard about that one. At least I don't think I have. But there's so many. I'm so bad at names, but I don't recognize it. I usually recognize something if I see it, or at least if I hear it, I know if I heard it. But YouTube is a little strange too when it comes to recommendations. So they recommend a lot of things I'm not interested of anymore. So the ones I want to see or follow, I can't see directly. It's more luck if they show something of that. So it's mainly on Instagram nowadays. I can find little more new things because sometimes they come when they cooperate with some other type of channel, maybe that promote goth music or alternative music. I can see a little more and find something that is new. But then I must remember the name, and I don't always have a paper and pen, so I can actually put a note about it so I can go, because many times when I see something like that, I try to find them on Spotify or YouTube because I don't have Bandcamp and that, and sadly I can't afford to buy things. I should want to buy more things, but right now I try to support in another type of way. I try to talk about things and that type of thing. If I like something very much, I want to spread it, and some artists are really great too because they're often very good back and that type of things, and they can comment back. You have three artists that do it very often, for me at least, and that is Donald Knuts, you got Vio Flash, and then you got Susie Sabotage. They are very good at giving back in some type of comments and that type of thing. So you feel appreciated in that type of way, that they actually see you. You are not just one in the big crowd. They actually see you too and see your support and that you like them. So I think they are truly good bands or artists too if they just one person. In this case, it was one band and two solo projects. So I think they're great. Yeah, and there's many bands that I do like too. So, and I think that I would love to see more come back. And I know that some band are playing a lot of covers nowadays on other ways. It was like one of the band I'm gonna talk about. I have done a cover from Dance Society, for an example, the song Angel. So I guess you know that one, Adam. Ah, it sounds great to live in a certain type of ways because you have so more going on where you are. And my town is very boring. I know when I talk with Miss Marzipan that lives in Stockholm, that is the capital town, so she live more in the middle on the east coast, and I live in the southwest, closer to the coast there. So it's so big difference between the cities. They have so much more going on. So I would love to have more of that, and well, you never know. One day maybe it pop up and be like a trend again, so it starts all over again. Because some things goes in cycles too. So maybe something that is now time to start it again over here in another type of way too. You never know. Even if I'm gonna be a pensioner, I'm still gonna be one day if they have it in the right moment and I have the money for it too. So, but yeah, they should sound familiar for you, Adam. I think if you hear the song, you know that one. But then you can always have the conclusion too if you like the cover or not. Especially when I went on and listened to oh, the Cemetery Goth Confessions, or is it just Cemetery Confessions? They usually talk a lot of different bands too. So then you can hear many bands that do those covers of the old goth rock, especially. So, but sometimes some of the bands do it really well. But of course, there are bands that you wish they never did it and think do your own thing instead because this is not sounding great. But there are many bands that actually do great covers too. So I don't mind. I just wish that they maybe used more songs, not just like Sisters of Mercy and that type of things, because we have so many good bands too, like Rosetta Stone and those. Fields of Nephilim is one of the underrated band too. You don't hear that much of, but they have really good songs. You have the Mission, even if Mission is still touring very much, so you don't really hear covers of their songs, and they have a lot of good ones too. It's not just Sisters of Mercy or Suda and the Banshees of Bauhaus and that type of things you should hear. There's so many bands. And Rosetta Stone is one of them too. And then, of course, we have the other bands that you were writing down too that I love very much too. And you got like Witching Hours and, you know, Paralyzed Age and those bands that I really love, and I wish they still was here. So I do miss those old bands too, but I do like to find new ones too. So, no, especially in all those, yeah, there is a special type of things too. So, and they are really fun sometimes to listen to those bands too. So I do enjoy to go back sometimes to the old days too. We feel how that was the way when I dropped in the big goth hole once upon a time when I didn't know the word goth either. So, but like I said, I enjoy to hear new bands too, and still hear that new bands is coming, and then you have people that can count band that's going on. For me, have gone on already for a long time, but compared with the 80s, of course, that's a new band compared with the 80s band. But when it's been for me a long time, and I'm thinking, how can you miss those bands? Like some people don't know about She Passed Away, they don't know Twin Tribes and those bands. They don't know sometimes even about Lebanon Hanover, you know, that type of thing. So I'm thinking, which rock are you living under when you miss those bands? I can understand if you don't know, like Adam was writing about the duct tape, if they don't know Vio Flash, they don't know Daniel Knutz, and those that it's a little more new bands, or Kalte Nacht, and so on, because they are really new ones compared with others. Even if some of them might have been going on with other type of music earlier. Pengoff. I think it was the same year I saw Lebanon Hanover actually, and I did enjoy their show. He danced so crazy. You can only smile when you watch him dance. He makes you happy to watch. What did you think about his dance? And yeah, so many good bands that people don't realize that there are actually so much. And I feel a little sad sometimes when I see Eldergoths too that refuse to take new bands into. They just want to be stick. I can understand if you're into a certain type of style, maybe. Like if you're a death rocker or something, you maybe don't like a dark wave band and that type of things. But I am little. I can like a lot of different styles too. I don't care. I can like death rock music sometimes, and you know that I feel zombified sometimes too. You know, and some people think that's crazy to listen to that song too. So, and thinking, what the fuck is you listen to? And I said, didn't you enjoy the music from the Batcave area? Then you should know that one. So yeah, but I do enjoy, and yes, that guy in Lebanon Hanover, that is a side, and when you see his crazy style when he dance, you can only your smile goes so wide you think you're gonna have your face going in two bits when you're watching him because he makes you so happy. So he's very cool. So if you haven't watched Lebanon Hanover, I think you should go and watch them. And there's so much other bands that are really nice to watch too. So and I did enjoy She Passed Away to hear them live to play in the same festival. Really nice. And you should think they were more forward too, but they're really shy in person. And during that festival, we were actually staying in the same hotel that, like many of the artists too. So I was so confused when I was sitting and having my morning breakfast at the hotel, and she passed away. Always sat in the next table, for an example. They were very shy, both guys. So and I thought they're looking so confident at stage and everything, and then in the real life, in the mornings, they were very shy. At least I thought they felt shy. So hello, hello. Yeah. So it's many good memories in that type of way, and I'm very happy. And of course, I'm happy that I have been able to see at least Sisters of Mercy once. I wish they had seen the earlier ones too with them, especially during the part when they had Patricia Morrison and those in the band, or even some parts of the people that went to be the mission after. And I should want to see the mission play. I should want to see Fields of Nephilim too, and those older bands that's still going on. But I live in the wrong country, and usually they don't play when I'm over to UK. They haven't played in the area where I am, so. And I need to find bands that I know that Trevor can stand at least during the time, because he's more a metalhead, even if he listens to some of the goth music too. So but he don't like all the bands I listen to, and he thinks sometimes I'm a nutcase because I like to sing and dance to the music when I listen to it. So I say, "Oh, okay, go away! You distract me too much." Yeah, the merciful nuns. And now it's even that I had to read first what it was writing because they have translated it, so it looks so completely strange to see it translated. But in this case, I knew which band you were talking about. Oh, I don't like when they translate everything. So it's a little strange. There's some parts are not translated at all, but when it came to that part, they did do the translations. So that looks really strange. But yeah, it's really funny to talk about that type of things, and I do hope that I can go and see some more. And see the Cure was also a very good thing when I saw them in Gothenburg. I just a little sad that they are actually coming back this summer to Sweden again, but they're gonna play on this big festival way out west in Gothenburg, and it's so expensive even for one day. So it costs more than one ticket for two persons for a normal concert when if you go to whatever band is gonna play on a big concert. And it's not worth the double price for one person for just seeing one band when I don't like the other bands. Because it's not goth music, it's all type of bands. So and when you see what they're gonna play, so I should rather want to go to Sukul Festival than that. I think they have the 10th years anniversary, if I remember right. And they have some bands that I should be interested to see that is not that old either. You have that band Auger that is from Blackpool original. But I think one of the members now living in Germany, if I don't remember wrong. But it looks like it like some of the Englishmen from English band have moved over to Germany for some reason. So yeah, I think they should, but you can't help if you like a certain style either. So see what Trevor goth metal. Actually, so he's not that much into the goth metal genre directly. He's more into like those band like Type O Negative for the moment. He used to be like Slipknot. He liked Korn and Iron Maiden. When you go back to that type of hard rock metal music, what is more he like? Arch Enemy, and then of course he like Amon Amarth, that is a Swedish Viking metal band that we actually have seen live too, and actually really good live. So if you like that type of music, I can recommend you to see Amon Amarth. And I can also recommend people to see Behemoth because we saw them like an open band for Slipknot when we went to see them here in Sweden. So, oh, there. I guess they have now translated it. So now I don't understand which band you say and Andrews because they translated it. So Sorry. I tried to, with my wildest imagination, guess what band you're talking about, because I guess it's the band name you wrote down now. But sorry, I don't get which band it was. But I was hoping that. I don't remember exactly which more band. I know that it was some more band I want to see, but I don't remember. And I think they're still gonna add more. I don't think they have released all the bands still gonna play on Subcode. So. Mm. You have seen a lot of different bands, no matter what type of genre, anyway, Adam, because you usually post a lot about it and that type of things. And I think it's nice that you actually have the possibility too. And I'm little curious, which settings of Arc Enemy did you see? The original one with the Swedish singer, or did you see that with Alyssa before she now have finished? Because I'm not sure they have told who's gonna be the new singer. And I think even in the beginning they have a male singer before they had this that first woman that was singing that was Swedish. That is still behind the band, but she stepped away and chose to have Alyssa. And I forgot which band Alyssa came from. I preferred Alyssa in her old band before Arch Enemy, actually. If you're going into the metal genre. Ah, Ozfest, that sounds cool. There's so many cool festivals, especially when you look to UK and US, that I wish that I could go to. But I know for sure that I'm not gonna be let into the US because they don't even have to dig in my 5 years history about things. They just have to go to the same day and they're gonna say you can't enter this country. Yeah, the agonist it was. I forgot the name. I knew that I knew which band it was, but you can't remember everything. And I started getting old, and I have my fibromyalgia that can affect my brain too. That's why my memory sometimes can go. And some things I know for sure, and when I'm gonna tell it, it just poof, and disappear. And so frustrating. I know this thing, but I can't get it. And then it can come some day after, and suddenly that what is, but it's too late to tell about it because then I suddenly remember of some reason I get over that type of things again, and then I realize, oh, this was what I was talking about, but I didn't realize during that time. Yeah, but I guess my fibromyalgia don't make it better, and to have all the other things also. Plus, I'm getting older. I hope they have right at least when you reach a certain age that they're coming back to be more the younger me, and then I'm gonna be a terrorist for people in the elder homes because they're gonna have to stand all my things with that type of music. It's not gonna be old person's music, at least not like it is today. There's gonna be so much goth and maybe metal music in that type of case. Oh dear. Yeah. And it's a lot other type of festivals too I have seen, especially when you follow accounts as Madame Absinthe, that is a Canadian too, but she have traveled over to US for some different festivals too and that type of things too, and it looks very nice to go to them. Sometimes it's a little more goth type of things, but sometimes I got that feeling that it's a little mixed. It's a little like when you have a scene from Melaluna that is in Germany, when you have band like the 69 Eyes and Death Stars and that they also play in them. So as long as it moves into the alternative scene of some type of... Oh, I dropped a little of this thing here for a short seconds. You see for around 2 for tall from when some... Yeah, I've seen some of them thing, and Das Ich is, I think Das Ich was one of the more extreme band I have seen. I'm not really sure what I'm gonna think about them really, but you can't miss them. They are very much on stage and they know about it. But if you think it's good or bad, it's a little like sometimes when you have this hate love for things, you can't decide if you think it's good or you think it's bad. I should say Dasish is one of the band that I think about it. Yeah, I've been seeing them, but like I said, I don't really know if that's a good or bad thing. But really interesting in their way, type of performance. But the music itself, I couldn't really put in place what I thought about. And then you have band like Then Comes Silence, that was really good. That was a Swedish band. So I can, if you haven't seen them when they tour, because I know they go on a lot of tours abroad too, so they are really good. And if I understand Miss Marzipan, that actually know of some of them in Stockholm, so they are good people too. So yeah, it's many I should want to see too. So, and I would love to see Blue Tangle live too, because that was a band that I discovered in 90s 2000 around that time. And I'm happy at least I saw one of the older bands that I still like is Incubus Succubus. This is from UK. And maybe not goth in that type of way, but they are a little more pagan witchy with little that goth aesthetic, if you know what I mean. Also very nice people. Yeah. At least they succeeded to go over the borders, and I see so much stories about Canadian that been refused to get into the US lately. So at least they could see them, so that's good. But I can recommend Then Comes Silence for sure. It's a really good band. And then you got the band Priest. It's also a very interesting band. It's not maybe goth band, but it's alternative in their way. Not sure if you kind of put it in some type of electronic type of music, but they are also very interesting to see. Huh. I hope you're gonna be able to watch them all, Adam, and that you're gonna be able to do all the interviews too. Maybe there could be some subject for a channel for you to maybe do that type of things and show us. I know there are some people that sometimes do for band, at least in US, on smaller clubs and smaller bands. And sometimes it's interesting to see because it can be a band that you're never gonna hear about in another type of way. So just because they are at that club, so that's the maybe the only time you heard about that band before. And sometimes there can be a hit. It can be the one thing that actually spread the rumor about the band that people get their eyes up. So you could think of maybe start a type of channel too, Adam, that when you actually have those interviews with bands, because you are away and see a lot of different bands. You don't just have to do the goth ones, you can do all the type of bands you go to, because I know you are very interested in the music type of things too, so I think that's great. Yeah. You're welcome. And I think I need to start thinking about food again, so I'm gonna do some little more cooked food this time. So I think I'm gonna actually end this live. I'm not sure when I'm gonna go live next time because right now I'm gonna start work on Wednesday, and I'm not sure I have that many possibilities to actually do a live that is not intruding in Trevor's life. If he's not, he don't want to be a YouTuber, even if I try to get him sometimes in some videos and that type of things, so people actually know that he still exists, that he's just like a ghost type of person in the background that I just talk about sometimes. But we have to see. I know that I will be in golf gatherings anyway with Star Raven and all the others, so that's more that you able to see me there probably, because I'm often one of the guests. And I know you're going to sleep now, Adam, because it's late in Canada. So I want to say to everyone, stay safe, stay weird, and be nice to each other, because we never know what happened in the background, and this world is still full of too much hate anyway. And love to you all and big golf hugs. Thanks for watching. Bye.